basics of offense and defense. All right, today what I want to go over for the Intro to Fighter series is how you should stand if you're going to be throwing a kick, and then we'll go over the specific kicks. As a review, kickboxers, we stand square, so our feet are apart. Like my feet aren't in the same level. I'm in two different corners, but they are apart far enough that I have a little bit of teeter totter, but I'm square because my feet are like right where my hips are at. So my feet are under my hips, my hands are usually up. And actually, a lot of Thai fighters, we'll kind of go back and forth from our high guard to like our long guard, but the goal is to be square, light on our feet, and kind of like mobile. It's called a Thai march, but you want to be able to pick up either one of your feet at pretty much any time. So, in terms of stance, you're talking about being bladed or sideways for boxers, which my hips are a little square, but they're bladed pointed towards the wall, and my hands are still up. But however, if I was like moving and I try to throw a kick, this kick would be kind of completely out of question because I can't, I would have to step out, turn back, and then kick. So the first thing is, if you're going to be throwing kicks, make sure your hips are straight and you're light on your feet, and you can kind of pick up either one at any time. Um, this is not a requirement. It is a suggestion, though. You're going to want to be comfortable on one foot, not for forever, but for like 3 to 5 seconds. For instance, if I'm light on my feet, right, even though like I'm heavy on this toe, but ultimately I can pick it up whenever, I can always throw this kick. If I'm hunkered down and I'm heavy on this foot, if I had to throw it, I had to come up, then come off of it. So it's literally the difference of this. If I was moving around light, I can throw that immediately. I'm moving around heavy, I want to throw it. I'm like literally doing an extra step. So all I have to say, if you're going to be throwing kicks, be square, be narrow, and be comfortable moving light on your feet. The second thing to talk about is lifting your leg all the way up. And one thing that can help with that is called a Thai march. So start with your lead leg. Most people know high knee. Get that knee up. And what you're trying to do here is you're going to be marching. So after your first high knee, down, high knee, down, and then you march forward. You can, of course, do more things with this, but in terms of what's standard, raise, lower, raise, lower. And if you notice, my feet are still in the same spot. Two drills you can do to work on your Thai march being light on your feet is one, just like stomping through. So I can come here, stomp through, come here, and inevitably I want to end up back in my original stance. The other thing is called a Thai hop. This is definitely more advanced, so work on just moving first, but comfortable on one leg, comfortable with my leg high, and then you can jump forward like this. This is offense and defense. It's a drill, it's a challenge, and it's something you can utilize moving forward. Using a bag, this is how it kind of works. I would start away from it. So in terms of being light on my feet and square, I'm a kickboxer always wants to be at his range. So I want to be where I can not touch it with my arm extended, but touch it with a little lean forward, because that's the end of my kick range. And then I also want to be ready to move at any point. So we talked about I can lift, and off of those lifts, I can throw kicks. So I can lift, step, kick, lift, step, kick. And I can even throw, so instead of lifting and stepping out that way, I can lift, step, kick. I can lift, step, kick. You can throw knees from this position. So I'm here, boom, or I'm here, boom. And of course you can mix them up. So I can go, boom, boom. I can go, and once again, these are not like the whole technique of the kicks, but it is like a drill and something to practice. Like if I was at home and my main goal is to get a workout, this is something I want to do. I want to grab some hand weights. I want to grab a weight vest, and I want to practice just being light on my feet, moving around, and actually being able to throw kicks before I do anything else. The last thing I want to go over is the defense to kicks. As we're talking about Thai march, I also want to teach you how to block kicks if need be. So blocking a kick in terms of a low kick is called a check. Up at the body is called a baseball cover, and the head is actually the same thing. So just picking this up alone will save you from a lot of things. Like if I'm moving like this and someone throwing kicks at me, I'll at least be able to deflect them, parry them, move them off the center line. I might not always be able to, fully block it or fully negate it. But if someone wished me harm, they threw a kick at me and I did this, this would at least be a barrier that I can then turn around and move away. If you're going to be fighting or you want to know the proper defense, just lifting this leg up, if someone hits the side of it, going to hit it that way. Hits the inside of it, it's going to hit it that way. So you have to make sure that not only am I being light on my feet, but I also have the flexibility and mobility to turn. A check is actually a lift and a turn at the same time. So if a kick was coming this way, I would lift and meet it. Kick was coming this way, I would lift and meet it. You can actually check with both legs. This is my front line barrier. So for most legs, for most kicks, I'm going to just check it with this. Like most kicks are going to come here, boom, and I'm checking it, or here, boom, and I'm checking it. Sometimes people will aim for this back leg. You can also check with that. There's no real disadvantage to checking with your back leg except the fact that most people won't kick that far. And of course, you don't want to pick this up if someone's aiming for this one, because that's about, you're going to get hit pretty hard if you think someone's kicking this one, you lift this up. And usually what actually will happen, if I lift this up and someone's kicking this one, they're going to kick your ankle and you're probably going to fall. So once again, you want to get comfortable. Boom, boom. And after that, you want to get comfortable, because that's what makes it a check, turning your leg out a little bit more. In terms of baseball covers,
if I wanted to next week.